So in our series of talking about data privacy for SMEs, let's talk about empowering SMEs today. What all can they do to ensure that the privacy of their customers and their vendors and their associates, their principals, is well maintained. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy, and as I said, let's empower some SMEs today to see how they can prevent breaches through privacy as well as security in their organizations. Do SMEs handle, the small and medium enterprises handle personal data? Well, anyone doing business handles personal data. The moment you hire an employee, you get all the personal data of the employee. The moment you get a customer, while many people would say it's not personal, it's official, well, there is a contact person and you have his phone number and his email ID, which are his personal data, right? So all businesses dealing with any human being have data with them. Customers' data, vendors' data, the payments that they collect from the customers, the business information that they exchange with their customers are all available with them. And even for a small and medium enterprise, the breach impacts. How does the breach impact? It can put a dent on the reputation of the business. It can put a dent on the trust that the customers have put on them. And it could bring in a lot of financial penalties if in case a breach has impacted and the regulators have caught them up. So let's talk about few things that SMEs should do to ensure that the personal data owned by them or collected by them is taken well care of. What are those? First of all, there's cybersecurity. They should maintain the basic security hygiene. Indian DPDP Act is more towards the digital data, but physical security is still important because if you have digital data of your organization in forms of laptops, in forms of pen drives, which can be easily picked up outside your office, then you still need protection around that. Data encryption is something that they should put in all critical data, even if it's on their laptops. The data should be kept encrypted while transferring through pen drives, should be kept encrypted. And of course, server data and all should be encrypted, and their data centers, large or small, should have firewalls and antivirus protections, anti-ransom and anti-malware protection. Employee training is another very important aspect because employees handle mails. There could be phishing emails that would come to employees' email boxes, so we need to be very careful about it. Sensitive data has to be properly handled, and if there is any suspicious activity, then the employee should be trained to report about those suspicious activities so that the measures can be taken to minimize the impact of the suspicious activity, if any, and see that the breach does not happen. Then it comes to conducting regular assessments. They are required for anyone handling personal data. Assessments could be based on size of your business. You may not need a privacy team, but you can get external help to do assessments and audits for you. Do a proper data flow mapping and process mapping. How is the data flowing across your organization? How is it mapped with various processes? And do privacy impact assessments. I've been talking about assessments a lot on my channel, so you can find videos on that. But privacy impact assessment is largely re-looking at your processes to see what level of personal data you handle, what categories of personal data you handle, and what is the possibility of a breach of personal data from your organization, the way it's being handled. Even SMEs need to have an incident response plan, especially if they're handling sensitive personal data or large volumes of personal data. There should be a clear process of incident management, steps how you would isolate and mitigate the impact of a breach, and how would you report to the principals and to the regulators that there was a breach and this was the impact of the breach. So the incident response plan should be there. If it is not a very large volume of data, then it is not necessary to have a very big team, but still you should be ready that you need to intimate people. So your communication tools should be available. Being SMEs, lower budget, lower cost, you should leverage affordable solutions, which could be from cloud service providers like Google or Microsoft, because they are more stable and more secure service providers. There are a lot of low-cost tools available handling IT functions, even managing projects and privacies. Vendor management is very, very important. Whichever vendor you are dealing with, you should check that your contracts are proper as well as check that they do handle personal data carefully with respect to all the compliances. You should build privacy-first culture in your organization. Right from each and every process, privacy by design culture should be brought in every process of your organization. You should get involved into the community engagement, and you should involve processes which are there for continuous improvement. How do you have continuous improvement? Only when you learn from the small or big instances, only when you learn from your observations within your system, of how your people are handling your processes. So building these things in within the organization for an SME can definitely help them get more traction and more safety with respect to breach from their organization. That's about empowering SMEs to help them avoid breach of personal information from their networks. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.